is that I was like ringing people in, like it was not as busy, and then this elderly black woman comes in, and like I'm like in my head I'm like thinking, hopefully this doesn't go as bad as I think it's gonna go, because usually when I know, like, not to be racist, but like every time I serve
like
an African American, it's just like I just have a dislike, like I just don't really like serving black, like African Americans, because they're so difficult to like actually serve. Because like there's this one time I got yelled at by my manager because like the guy didn't pay like straight away until I asked him, and like so like she comes in, she goes, I want that, I want that. And I'm like, do you want this, this, and that on it? And she goes, huh? I'm like, okay. And like near the end, I'm like, all right, ma'am, your total is this, this, and that. And she hands me cash, and then I'm like, I count it, and then I'm like, ma'am, you're 1 penny short. And she goes, nah, 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 I gave it to you. I'm like, no, you didn't. And she goes, no, 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 you must have dropped it. I'm like, if I would have dropped it, ma'am, I would have heard it. And then, like, I pretty much just, like, my manager told me to just bring it in, like, just put it in anyways.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, penny's a little. No, don't bitch over a penny.
Well, like, if we're 1 penny short, like, our managers count money after the day's done. So, and,
yeah,
like,
oh.
And then my manager, for like one of the friends that I'm like one of the managers that I'm really good friends with, who like I actually played a few games with, his name is David, and he comes up to me, he goes, Josh, what's wrong? And I'm like, you need to take over. And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, you need to take over now. And he goes, all right. And then he takes over, and he goes, well, and then he comes up to me, and like I was just like sitting behind him, just like waiting for like to see what he does. And then she goes, I want to see your manager. And I just would take over for a little bit. I'm like, all right, there's 3 of them here. And I pointed at all 3 of them, like, which one do you want to talk to? And she goes, I want to talk to the one that's mostly in charge. And that one was David. So, and then, or no, that was my, like, the assistant, manager. That was Leah. And pretty much, like, she got yelled at, and so did I. And then David comes up to me and goes, why did you want me to take over? And I was like, dude, if you didn't take over, I would have went off on this person. I would have fucking destroyed this person. I would like not like let her leave this place alive. Cause like I was so mad, like I did not want to be around that person anymore. And then like later that night, Leah comes up to me. She goes, yeah, you were 1 penny short. I'm like, I knew it. So. Yeah, I just hate dealing with those type of people. And I'm pretty sure like this one woman started complaining because there's like a lunch rush, and it took her about like 20 minutes to get her sub, because it was like about like 30 people ahead in front of her, and we only had like 5 people on staff. And so like I'm pretty sure that's the top Yelp review right now that has like 1 star that says, me and my husband came in, and we were greeted, of course, and then we had to wait 20 minutes for a small sub, and then I paid $10 for that sub. And we specifically tell them when they ask for a small, we tell them specifically, it's 3 to 4 inches, it's a snack size, you sure you want it? And they go, yeah, I want it. And then I just hate these fucking people, man. Like, oh my god, I just want to like go on Yelp as like a fake account and like just like shit talk all people that like don't know what goes on in this business, because they really don't. Like, and the same thing with the internet.
You sound like me at 5 a.m. on here.
and the same thing with the fucking internet. If there's someone getting hated on the internet, they just go along with it. They're like, yeah, fuck that guy. And like, you know the Jeffrey Epstein case, right? The guy who was like doing sex trap. Yeah, Epstein, whatever his fucking last name is.
Yeah, okay, here, let me just give you some insight. 90% of the people you're gonna run into that walk past those doors are going to be fucking sheepish NPCs that think Orange Man bad. even if you do live in Florida.
So like going on with like the case of Jeffrey Epstein, like I was given that case for like a class of mine. I was given that case, and I was given the case of the 20-year-old cheerleader that gave birth in secret and then burned the kid and buried it alive, pretty much.
Dude, that's kind of hot.
And like that case, like there's like a few people that I knew that like said fuck that guy. I don't like, and I'm like, do you even know what he did? And they're like, no. Then like, why do you hate the guy then? And pretty much the only reason why they hate that guy is because everyone else is. So.
Thanks for the ride.
Hey Bunsen, there's a spy right behind you. It's like right here.
He's